Hey guys, I'm back. I'd like to talk about just how formulaic the film industry has become and just about what we're missing out on by them not taking as much risks anymore. Could it be made today? Jaws? Probably not, but at least not the way it was made back then, and this is assuming Jaws was never made. The studio gave then unknown Steven Spielberg a pretty free rein. He fought the studio who wanted to film it on a soundstage and out in California. He wanted the New England location. The shark was a big risk and it would have performed better in a stage, but he wanted the authenticity. That was a film with a big risk. Could it have been made today? Probably not. Or look at the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Could that have been made today? Yeah, it's more of a common thing now to see multiple sequels filmed at once, but it was pretty unheard of back then. It happened once or twice with them being filmed back to back with smaller budget films, but when Peter Jackson was trying to sell this trilogy, he actually had it condensed to two movies because he wasn't trying to scare a potential film studio away from investing. The president of New Line, after Peter Jackson presented it to them and it was go time. There was another studio that was going to make the film, and if he couldn't pitch this to another studio, this studio was going to make Lord of the Rings. He wasn't going to be as involved, and it was going to be condensed to one movie, which would have been a total disaster. He showed his vision. He had stuff he had designed at Weta Workshop on a video, and the president of New Lines looked at it and said, "What's going on? Why are you wanting to make two movies? Aren't there three books? You should make three movies." He took a risk. He didn't play it safe, which is what Hollywood is doing now. I forget which 60s era rock star it was. I think it was Bob Dylan, but he was talking about how they were taking risks with music at the time, and he said it wasn't a bunch of young people that liked what we were selling. It was a bunch of older or middle-aged cigar smoking men who did not like or understand the music we were making. But he said, and again, I'm probably wrong about it being Bob Dylan, but I'm still getting the gist of the story. The people understood it sounded new, it sounded different. They didn't like it, they didn't necessarily understand it, but they knew it was worth taking a risk on because it sounded fresh and there may be money to be made in it. Hollywood needs to get that spirit back instead of remaking this again and again. How many more reboots of Batman or Spider Man do we need to see? How many more times do they need to reboot Nightmare on Elm Street or the inevitable remake of Jaws? They're just not wanting to take risks. They're playing it safe with the same old formulaic stuff. They're giving us the same old flavor and lying to us, telling us it's really a new flavor. The risks are gone, and the movies that took chances can't be made today. Star Wars was a big risk at the time. Alien was a big risk at the time. The original Terminator, which was pretty much an independent film, but still a risk. Movies like these could, if these films have never been made and helped shape the film industry into what it is today, and the film industry had the mentality it does now, they would never sign off on making these kinds of risks. I mean, I'm not knocking Marvel, but I'm going to describe the ending of a Marvel movie. The hero or heroes go up against a army of flyy thingies and battle the main villain. That formula was repeated in a lot of monster movies and in Justice League. These movies just bleed together, and that's why I got disillusioned with Marvel. If you like Marvel, Great, I just want to see more out of these studios, something more fresh, original. I'm not saying don't touch these great characters, use them, but be more creative with them. Take risks. They need to be more willing to give new directors a chance. Look what Steven Spielberg did with Jaws. Back in the early 90s, David Fincher, a then new director, was going to direct Alien 3. The studio kept him on an extremely tight rein, and whether you like that movie or not, I'm not here to debate whether that movie was good or bad. The director's vision suffered from it, and the director's vision would have been at least a more interesting movie. I just don't know. Hollywood just doesn't seem to be taking risks. The and it's preventing future Steven Spielbergs and Peter Jacksons from coming onto the scene because they're more concerned about protecting their investment than making a good movie. You know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Hollywood. Give one of these directors with a vision the free reins he needs, he'll make you money. And take risks so that the next Jaws could be made, the next Star Wars, the next Alien, the next so on and so forth. We're not going to get that creative new stuff unless Hollywood is willing to take more risks. So, what do you think of the video? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me and think I'm an idiot that doesn't know what I'm talking about? Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and please tell me your thoughts. I'm really interested in hearing what you have to say on this subject. Over and out.